Hi everybody, this is a roast leg of lamb. It's a roast leg of lamb that I've rubbed with fresh herbs and garlic, and it's been slow roast for around 3 hours. It's about a 4-pound leg of lamb. I'm going to show you how I've cooked it today, and I promise you it's truly wonderful. I'm also going to show you how to make the most wonderful rich gravy to go with this fabulous roast. The gravy will be obviously a lamb gravy, and it'll be flavoured with lots and lots of onions and the flavours, of course, from the roast itself. And it's going to be rather beautiful. So let's start, shall we? There's the leg of lamb. It's around a 4-pound leg of lamb, as I've just mentioned, and I've got a plate next to it containing some fresh herbs and some garlic and salt and pepper. The garlic, I've got about 7 cloves that I've completely pulverised in my blender, as well as some fresh thyme, some fresh rosemary, and some fresh parsley next door to that. The herbs and the garlic have all been completely minced in my electric blender. There I've got some black pepper that I've milled, and then I've got some lovely salt that I've milled too. I'm going to throw all that in a container and mix it, but first of all I want to make some incisions in the lamb. I want to make some little cuts, some deep cuts, with a sharp pointed knife. A couple of ways of making these cuts. First of all, obviously you need to make stabs in the lamb, and you need to move the blade around because we need to create a cavity. We need to create a little hole. So as you can see, I'm twisting the blade there. That's another way of doing it. Nice and easy. But the other way, of course, that you can make that hole guaranteed big enough to get some of your beautiful pulp in. I'm just going to score it. Just lightly score the skin. And then I'm going to just pop my finger in some of these holes just to stretch the meat, just to stretch it so that when we rub the lamb, the beautiful paste finds a way of going in it. So I'm going to make the paste now. I need 3 tablespoons of good quality olive oil, and then we're going to throw pretty much everything in there. The garlic, and the garlic has got green specks in it. That's because I made the mistake of blending the parsley first before the garlic. So I'm going to mix it up with a fork. No special method. Just give it a good old bashing with that fork. And get it all mixed up. Then you can see what it looks like, a big green pulpy mass. Plonk it on your lamb joint and just gently. Now this is the bit where we have to massage it. It gets very, very messy, yes. But we just want to gently massage our fabulous paste of fresh herbs, salt, pepper, garlic and olive oil. Massage it into the lamb, doing our best to get some of that paste in those holes that we've created. Because obviously as this lamb cooks slow, all these wonderful flavours of herbs, garlic, are going to infuse the joint of meat as it cooks. Try and get a little bit on the underside of the lamb as well. Obviously we haven't stabbed the underside of the lamb because this lamb's going to be sitting in the oven. There's only a need to do the one side of it. So once you've covered it with all that paste, and it's worth getting messy, I promise you. It really is. You can see how well rubbed in all that fabulous paste is. I'm going to sit it on about 3 or 4 small onions that I've chopped roughly in my roasting tin. And now I'm going to put in around 1.5 cups of water in the roasting tin. Now the reason for this is because we want to make a gravy. This water is going to help us create a stock. And it's also going to create some steam in the oven to help cook the lamb. In the lamb goes for about 1 hour on 200 centigrade, which is around 390 Fahrenheit, and out it comes. I'm a bit slow with my guiding here, but obviously I've taken it out after 1 hour and I've just thrown over a glass of wine. All the measurements will be in the description below. Glass of wine is probably about a cup of wine in total. I'm now covering the lamb with some baking paper. Now I want to cover the whole roasting dish with lots of foil, and I want to crimp the foil underneath the lip of the roasting tin. Crimp it completely so it's quite tight. In the oven for a further 2 hours on around about 175, which is about 340 Fahrenheit. Take it off and the big reveal, as they say. And that, I promise you, is truly wonderful. The smell, you will, if you cook this, you'll discover the smell to be truly unique. It doesn't look the greatest thing in the world, but we're going to let the lamb rest now while we make the gravy. So put the lamb to one side. There's all our beautiful juices with our lovely braised onions. And we're going to put those onions in the saucepan while the lamb's resting. And I'm going to take about half a cup of fat off the top of our residual juices. Only about half a cup. That fat's represented by olive oil and obviously the lamb fat as well. The lamb fat will be minimal because this is a leg of lamb. If you do this with a shoulder of lamb, you'll have considerably more fat. But you'll only get about half a cup. Once you've got about half a cup of fat in that jug there, it's then time to put it to one side and to blitz with the stick blender your onions and your juices. The onions will contribute to the thickness of the gravy, by the way. Once you've blitzed it well, and don't forget to tilt the saucepan when you blitz it, we're going to mix about 3 tablespoons of flour into the fat that we've skimmed off the top. We're going to bring our onion mixture to the boil. We're going to add some stock to that. We're going to add about a quart of a stock to our onion mixture. The stock will be beef or chicken, whatever you have by you. And now we're going to pop in our beautiful floury mass that we've mixed up. Pop it in and then over a low flame, whisk and whisk and whisk until you notice it becomes quite thick. Do it over a low flame. If you do it slowly, you have more control over the sauce. If you do it quickly, there's more chance you'll burn the sauce. I'm now going to make my sauce a little bit darker with a little bit of what we call gravy browning here in the UK. I know you can get the equivalent in other countries, but we call it gravy browning. I'm only going to put about a half teaspoon in because it's quite concentrated, but if you watch the transformation in colour, you'll see how beautifully appealing it becomes, or how more appealing it becomes if it's a nice rich dark brown. There we are. In goes some salt and pepper, and effectively our gravy is ready. I'm just going to bring it to the boil once more, just to try and give you an idea of how silky and how beautiful that gravy looks. Nice and thick. And don't forget, if it's too thick, you can bring it down and let it with a little bit of extra liquid, or if it's too thin, you can always add some cornflour slurry. Onto the leg of lamb, and we're carving. Now, it doesn't look fantastic because obviously we've used fresh herbs. Fresh herbs will turn black. You can use dry herbs. The alternatives will be in the description below. But there's the leg of lamb. It's being sliced. It's been slow roast, yet it's still quite juicy. Don't forget, this is a 4-pound leg of lamb, and it's been cooked for around 3 hours in total. But it really did, it was beautiful. You can cook this pink if you prefer, but this particular way I'm doing it today is for a slow roast. Now it's time to plate up the meal. I'm serving it with some roast potatoes, some cauliflower, some steamed Brussels sprouts and some rutabaga carrot mash, which is also on the channel. And doesn't that look absolutely fabulous? I'm certain anybody, even the Queen or the King, would love this beautiful roast dinner. Thanks for watching the video today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, would you please share, like, subscribe even, and to find out about my next video, don't forget to press the notification bell. This is Chef Archie Pie sending lots of love to everyone. Do take care of yourselves, and I'm going to eat my lovely roast lamb dinner. I'll see you all very, very soon.